On the 4th of March 1861, Abraham Lincoln is sworn into office. It too happens to be the day that one of history's strongest diss tracks was ever written. Mississippi delegate Jefferson Davis had composed a track so dirty that news got to DC within hours. The track divided the nation. Davis claimed that the election of Lincoln was an indication that the South was now powerless in a system that was sectional. Davis sent many threats in his piece, such as "fuck the Union" and "Sumner is a pussy-hole." His ass got beat by Preston Brooks in '56. All this helped to deliver the divisive message of the track. On April 17th, Virginia left the Union after the track hit #1 in the state. In response, Lincoln attempted to counter with force, with some historians suggesting that he had a lack of bars as a result. In response, the newly found Confederacy bombed the living fuck out of Fort Sumter, once again proving the Confederacy not only had bars, but with their newly found president, the very Jefferson Davis, who composed the Great Ballad of '61, also supported this. The Battle of Manassas, the first real conflict of the war, following the global exportation of the now platinum record, came into event. The battle resulted in a disorganized retreat from Union forces, after Stone Cold Stonewall Jackson rallied Confederate troops and a crushing counteroffensive late in the day. Will Stell was present for these events, with the camera crew picking up the very moment of the retreat. The Army of the Potomac and Northern Virginia met again at Sharpsburg months later, with the Union Army finally turning up with their first major winning battle and regaining some clout. The completely dog-water general, George B. McClellan, pulled a blinder in the 95th minute, defeating Slobber E. Lee on a technicality. That technicality being 4,000 men hailing from the Confederate States of America being killed. After a mix of fuckery, the Union, and many tracks released by the northern rapper Horace Greeley, best known for timeless classics such as Go West Young Gentleman, the Union Army finally realised they're the second strongest army in the world, behind Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth's Boys in Red. The Army of the Potomac push up to Pennsylvania and march onto a small town known as Gettysburg. Here, the biggest clash in American history takes place. Little Round Top is the first major battle point, with all major generals present. General Pickett, i.e. the biggest dumbass in American history behind Woodrow shit-ass Wilson, decides on day 3 of the grueling battle to simply order his men to approach the Union gunfire at walking speed. The Union quell the Confederate approach into the north for now, and Slobber becomes so embarrassed he tries to quit his job. Also, Stonewall, Stone Cold, Stone-ass, fucking Wall Jackson is dead. So one of the S-tier generals is now dead. This is so sad. Play Mambo number 5. Helicopter, helicopter! Following this, Lincoln went on tour with a hit single of his own, known amongst the industry as the Gettysburg Address. Bars such as 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth this continent a new nation conceived in liberty, and dictated the proposition that all men are created equal. This sentiment moved many in the nation to a degree that hasn't been seen since the OG Thomas Jefferson. Following this chart-topping hit, a new battle rapper known as William Tecumseh Sherman approached the forehand of the war. As the Confederacy laughed because his name is quite literally Cumstain, he creates the most fire mixtape in world history. A mixtape so fire, it actually changed a nation. Sherman played this while on his long walk to the sea. The mixtape engulfed all places of residence in his wake. Some say this diss track was so masterfully crafted that it stopped the Confederacy from ever properly being able to respond, and respond they did not. Following this, Jefferson Davis went on tour in Europe, following his choke on the national stage. With this, his parliament being shut down and the whole hood being divided into martial districts, left many Southerners feeling disappointed. Some say Davis never recovered, making permanent residency in Leamington Spa. Truly a fall from grace. Worcestershire for life. WR represent, fuck the CV postcode. Some, however, argue that Davis had the last laugh, however, as one of his shotters pulled off a filthy no-scope in Ford's Theatre mere months after the war ended. This is a story of arguably the most influential rap battle ever written, how a nation was divided, and causing possibly the biggest gang war of all time.